أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. The author of Tahawiyah, rahimahullah, then says, this is because he has power over all things. All things depend on him and are easy for him. He is not in need of anything. Nothing is like him. He is the all-hearing, the all-seeing.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. As you know, the author, rahimahullah ta'ala, is still describing Allah Jalla wa ala and is informing us about Allah Jalla wa ala and about His names and attributes. One of the very important attributes of Allah Jalla wa ala that He is Jalla wa ala has power over all things. What does that mean? It means that Allah Jalla wa ala can do anything. There is nothing that Allah Jalla wa ala cannot do. This is the very simple meaning of this statement, that Allah Jalla wa ala does anything and that there is nothing that Allah Jalla wa ala can't do. Now, this meaning has been confirmed or is confirmed in number of ayat in the Quran, as well as number of prophetic traditions. All of us know the ayah, Wallahu ala kulli shayin qadir, and Allah Jalla wa ala has power over everything. Now, here it is good to mention that the Mu'tazila, as you know, this deviant sect, they said that Allah Jalla wa ala has power over the things that are in His power or in His ability. So they did not make it general and exclusive. They said that Allah Jalla wa ala has power over things that He has power over, which is in essence has no meaning. What does that mean, that Allah Jalla wa ala has power over the things that are in His power? Why do they say this? Because they want to say that, as you know, the Mu'tazila are Qadariyah in terms of Qadar. They believe that the person has power over his actions. And they want to affirm that Allah Jalla wa ala has no power over the actions of His creation, or Allah Jalla wa ala has no power over the actions of His human beings. That's why they say that Allah ala kulli shayin qadir means Allah not over everything has power or has power over everything. No, Allah has power only, but they don't say only, they say Allah has power over things that are in His power. Now, of course this is wrong, because if you say that Allah has power only over certain things, means that you are limiting the power of Allah Jalla wa ala, and that is impossible. Allah Jalla wa ala can do anything Jalla wa ala, and Allah Jalla wa ala is the creator. There is no creator but Allah Jalla wa ala, and this is well known, this is well established. So if Allah Jalla wa ala is the only creator, and anything other than Allah Jalla wa ala is created by Allah Jalla wa ala, there is no second creator beside Allah Jalla wa ala, then Allah Jalla wa ala is the controller of everything. Allah Jalla wa ala knows everything. And this should be known and confirmed to all human beings. It's a very simple common sense that is based on a very simple belief in who Allah Jalla wa ala is. Now, some Mu'tazila, they say, but if you say that Allah Jalla wa ala can do anything, then can Allah Jalla wa ala create another God? They say, if you say that Allah Jalla wa ala can do anything, then they will say, okay, can Allah Jalla wa ala create another God? Or they say that can something that exists and does not exist in the same time, can Allah Jalla wa ala create something that exists and does not exist in the same time? And they say, of course, Allah Jalla wa Ala does not do this. And they say that Allah Jalla wa Ala cannot do this. So you cannot say that Allah Jalla wa Ala is able to do anything. Allah Jalla wa Ala has power over everything. And in response to this, we have to say, listen, we have to be careful. There are just assumptions that are in reality they are nothing. So if you say that something exists and does not exist in the same thing, this is not something, this is not anything. So you cannot say, can Allah Jalla wa Ala create this thing which does not mean anything and is not anything. Now they say that, but the word thing refers to anything in this dunya, even if it is not in existence. Yes, we say yes, that is true. The word thing refers to anything that is already existed and anything that will come to existence, but it does not refer to anything that has no meaning. So when you say that can Allah Jalla wa Ala create something that exists and does not exist in the same time, this is a rubbish argument, and hence you cannot say, oh, astaghfirullah, we are challenging Allah if He can create something that exists and does not exist in the same time, because this issue which is exist and does not exist is nothing in the first place. The other point is, can Allah Jalla wa Ala create another God? We say astaghfirullah al-azim. The question itself is wrong, because you are assuming that the God is created. So can Allah created another God? It means that the God is created. So how can the question itself be wrong, and how can we produce an answer for a wrong question? This is as if you say that Tokyo, the capital of Britain, has population of 10 million people. We say you have to correct the question first. You cannot say Tokyo, the capital of Britain, because if we say yes, it has the population of 10 million people, if we say yes, it means that we have agreed that Tokyo is the capital of Britain. If we say no, the population of Tokyo, the capital of Britain, is not 10 million, then it means that we accepted the premise. So we have to say no, you have to correct the question before we give any answer. I think the matter is clear. And we do not need to get into this issue that what about creating another God? Can Allah Jalla wa Ala do this or not? This is this is a way of or in a matter of fact, you are not respecting Allah Jalla wa Ala, you are not glorifying Allah Jalla wa Ala by asking this question. However, we gave the answer. Then the author in the statement, he said, وَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ إِلَيْهِ فَقِيرٌ. All things depend on Him Jalla wa Ala. Of course, this is a confirmation of the statement and some previous statements that everything is in need of Allah Jalla wa Ala. There is nothing that does not need Allah Jalla wa Ala. Allah Jalla wa Ala says in the Quran, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. Allahu Samad means the master that everyone goes to Him, everyone needs Him Jalla wa Ala. Then in the statement of the author said, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. As you know, this statement, which is لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ, nothing is like Him, and He is all hearing, all seeing, has been repeated number of times and will be repeated because it is a very important statement. Allah Jalla wa Ala is confirming in this statement, as we said before, that there is nothing like Allah Jalla wa Ala. We cannot make tashbih. We cannot liken Allah Jalla wa Ala with any of His creation. We cannot liken any of His creation to or with Allah Jalla wa Ala, full stop. Now, some people might say, but Allah Jalla wa Ala described Himself as As-Sami' al-Basir. And we have been given this quality that we can hear and we can see as well. We say that if the words are the same and the meanings are the same, it doesn't mean that the reality of the attributes are the same. And this is a big mistake that many people fall into. So if I have a certain quality and maybe the animal has a similar quality, it doesn't mean that this quality that I have is the same quality that the animal has. Take another example. I speak, and now we see, for example, many equipments speak. They produce voice and sound. They speak. So we cannot say that the way I produce sound is the same as those equipment produce sound. And if you remember, we said that there are 3 stages of the names and their meanings and their realities. This is quite important. Once we remember this, we will understand so many things related to the names and attributes of Allah Jalla wa Ala. The first stage is to see the word itself, as-sami'. This is sin, mim, ya, ain. This is just a word. Now this word has a meaning. So what is the meaning of sami'? Means hears. He hears. So this meaning is common between all those who have it. So Allah Jalla wa Ala is a sami'. I have this attribute that I can hear as well. So we share the meaning. However, the reality of the sama', the reality of hearing, differs according to the entities. So I, as a human being, can hear. Allah Jalla wa Ala, the Lord, also hears. So my hearing and the hearing of Allah Jalla wa Ala, they are totally different, because ليس كمثله شيء. ليس كمثله شيء. Nothing is likened to Allah Jalla wa Ala. Nothing is like Allah Jalla wa Ala. Full stop. So the reality of my names and attributes, or the reality of my attributes and the reality of Allah's attributes, are totally different. The meaning is the same. So there are 3 stages: the word, the meaning, and the reality. The meaning is something that can be understood by our intellects. This is the meaning. But when you say, can we see it? It means now we are moving to the 3rd stage, which is what? The reality of the meaning. The reality of the meaning is not something to be understood. No, it is something to be sensed by our senses. Either we can see it, touch it, smell it, and so on. So the reality of the attributes of Allah Jalla wa Ala, we have not seen it. Don't say we do not know it. No, we know it, because once we talk about knowing them, it means that we are talking about the 2nd stage, which is what? Understanding the meaning. But once you say, have you seen Allah Jalla wa Ala hand, or have you seen Allah Jalla wa Ala eyes? We say, no, we haven't seen them, and we will see them at the day, we will see them in Jannah. But seeing them has nothing to do with understanding the meaning. The fact that we could not sense them, it doesn't mean that we should negate them in the first place. Because if we negate them, we are negating the meaning as well. So if we differentiate between these 3 levels, then we will be able to understand the whole discussion and debate around the attributes of Allah Jalla wa Ala, and then we will never deny or reject any of the attributes that Allah Jalla wa Ala himself or his messenger himself confirmed or affirmed to Allah Jalla wa Ala, or attributed to Allah Jalla wa Ala. How come Allah Jalla wa Ala attributes something to himself and then we deny it and we say, no, Allah, you do not have this equality? So this is that this is the meaning of وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ, and he is all hearing, all seeing. So once we combine between the two sentences, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ, nothing is like him, Jalla wa'ala, and the other sentence which is he is all hearing, all seeing, the matter will be clear insha'Allah, and there will be no confusion regarding that insha'Allah. Okay, we continue insha'Allah.